I'm not afraid to die. I just don't want to be there when it happens. The first thing that came to my mind was my dad. He's not only a businessman, but he's also a police officer. When I was younger, I thought this was the coolest profession ever. You know, being a little kid, oh, what does your dad do? Firefighter, police officer. You know, my dad was a police officer. But as I grew older, I knew that it was more of a risk take than it was just the profession, the name. The train of thought, as when he goes in, he totally changes his attitude. Like, I call it cop mode. He's this guy that, you know, really nice guy, really laid back, and then once he gets in his cop car, once he gets in the uniform, he goes to this totally different person. And I wonder why. Why do you change this mindset? And he always changed the mindset because he's going into a profession where each day he has to take it as a new journey, as a new beginning, because he might die on the profession. So when I grew older, I realized that he takes each day when he goes to work as a new journey. I also thought of my uncle, who's a really big risk taker. He went skydiving. He's been skydiving since he was very young. Started out in his 20s, and ever since then, he got his license, and he's been skydiving. He loves it, and it's a risk. It's a take that he takes, going off, jumping off the plane, knowing that, hey, my parachute might not pull, you know, I might die. But also in my motorcycle crash that I did in November, I fell off the bike, and the first train of thought was like, thank goodness I have a helmet on. Thank goodness, because I fell so hard, and if I would have I knocked out for a good, I don't know, 10 seconds. But it was a risk. It's a take that I take in life. So I take each day by day, not expecting what's coming, not expecting, you know, there's a journey that I need to take. So with this quote, I agree with it. I'm not afraid to die. I just don't want to be there when it happens. So I'm not afraid. I take risks. It's what's in life, you know. Each new journey, each new day. And if I do die, each day, take it as it comes. Thank you.
Right, I'm not sure it's a good idea to use the quote as the attention device, but I did think that you had a nice example to talk about at the beginning of the speech, and that makes up your first point. So you've got all the material about your father, and you've got a pretty good point of view that you're talking about, using the topic as a way of getting to that point of view. I thought that worked pretty smoothly. There's no setup of what the structure is going to be, but it basically comes down to the three examples that you've got. In each of those examples, you've got a little bit of detail on. Sometimes they could be a little bit more interesting with maybe a little bit of a unique point of view or a particular example or experience. But as far as they went, I think that they fit the bill for what we were looking for in the content of the speech. Your presentation issues, I know you were a little bit shaky about your voice. I didn't notice anything that was problematic. You projected reasonably well, and there's pretty good variety. I did think that it flowed together very smoothly, which I appreciated. Your gestures, you do have a lot of gestures, but they're very small and contained, and that's part of the issue, the only other issue I have about your delivery. You stand in the one spot, your gestures are a little bit small. This is sort of like that kind of thing. Well, if I'm here and I kind of contain myself and I don't draw attention to myself, then maybe my anxiety won't come out. So those are the two things that I think were a little bit problematic. Everything else seemed pretty solid in the presentation. Your facial expressions, your eye contact, but those just seemed like maybe that's where the anxiety is. You made a point at the end of the speech that I thought was pretty effective, and you connected it with the topic that you were talking about. So you finish off relatively well, and that's, as I've said to several other people, that's a good way to finish. Thank you.
Thank you.